Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Going through the Heat Celtics game from yesterday, horrible news, Rajon Rondo has a torn ACL, is out for the year. However, there are some compelling stats that show that the Celtics offense wasn't as good as it's been in recent years with him on the floor compared to him on the bench. With Rondo on the court, the Celtics shot better than their average in the restricted area and the above the break three, albeit only slightly. With Rondo on the bench, however, the team shot much better in the paint, but worse from the corner three. Even though he was shooting a career high from 16 to 23 feet, teams defended Rondo by clogging the middle and daring him to shoot, making it harder on his teammates to score. However you want to slice those statistics, there's no way you can convince me with my eyeballs that Rajon Rondo didn't help the Celtics offense. The guy was leading the league in assists and is a very exciting player, plays terrific defense. So there's no question they're going to suffer and not get the kind of plays like these.
Rondo beats Biombo on the dribble, sends it to the corner. Rondo in a hurry, nice pass.
So let's look at the game and what it boiled down to. Basically, Dwayne Wade had a pretty bad game. He turned it over 6 times and missed a ton of shots. Now, they could deal with either one of those. Either he turns the ball over a lot but shoots well, or shoots poorly but doesn't turn the ball over. And in this game, the double whammy happened, and it was too much for the Heat to overcome, barely. Before we show you Wade's first turnover, watch the Heat offense. They pass the ball on the perimeter back and forth. There's no pressure on the defense, kind of wasted stuff here. They contain beautifully, and there's Avery Bradley with a great hustle play. And here come the Celtics on transition, but they waste a nice opportunity. Watch how 4 Heat players are in the lane going for the rebound and only 1 Celtic. You'd think the Celtics would be back on defense, right? Well, when the Heat come back down, the Celtics don't pick up the right men and they get a layup anyway. Wade's second turnover should have been called a lot earlier. He establishes his left foot as the pivot foot. All of a sudden, there's the right foot as the pivot foot. And as he goes to drive, he's going to pick that right foot up again. Travel. No call. He gets stuck up in the air, though, and he doesn't make the right pass. You'll see that Shane Battier should be the one open if he's moved down farther, though. Instead, a bad cross-court pass that gets picked off. More footwork problems as he goes to the hoop as Pierce knocks the ball away. He could keep dribbling, but not if you shift your feet before you put the ball down. Easy call. And here's just a bad decision, a risky backdoor lob to Ray Allen with no pressure on him. His 5th turnover was a bad pitch when they were trying to get to Horns. Risky play way too close to the sideline, so that's an execution issue and also a play call by Eric Spoelstra issue. Here you'll see it goes off of Jason Terry though, but what are you going to do? And then in double overtime, out of control going to the hoop, it should be a pull-up jump shot. Instead, Paul Pierce takes a beautiful charge. Now let's look at his missed shots. A beautiful split of the double team on the pick and roll, and he'll have a smorgasbord of options. He could hit the corner, he could hit Bosch for a layup, maybe even Haslam. Instead, a bit of a wild shot that misses. There are times Wade decides he will shoot the ball no matter what. Here there's an offensive charge not called, would have been another turnover, and that turns into a block. And the Celtics are off to the races, getting 2 of their 16 fast break points. Bad footwork again by Wade. He catches the ball, right foot's the pivot foot, then he's going to pick it up right away. That should be a travel. And then he's going to shift both his feet on the shot fake. Watch how the defense gives him room. They want him to shoot this shot, and he'll oblige happily. Sometimes Wade gets too caught up in dishing out the punishment that he can't finish the play. Look at that elbow. On this key miss, watch Barbosa hit him on the knee, old veteran trick. That should have been a 2-foot jump shot. Looking at Jason Terry's career, he's always been best with the ball in his hands. Last year in Dallas, he got 9 pick-and-roll possessions per game. This year in Boston, that number has sank to less than 3 a game. The only hope the Celtics have to improve on their record is if Terry gets back to his old, the Jet self. While he is very good with the catch and shoot in the corners, without Rondo in there, these kind of plays will be few and far between. So get used to seeing him bring the ball up, get a high screen and roll, and get right to the hoop and try and score. He should stop settling for these jump shots, do a shot fake, and go right by and create something. One of the biggest keys to beating the Heat is to get LeBron James and Dwayne Wade shooting as many jump shots as possible. This is no easy task, but the Celtics were able to force just enough long shots to eke out the win. Watch how Avery Bradley will give Dwayne Wade a lot of space so he can't penetrate and basically asking him to shoot that shot. Watch how Sullinger can shadow LeBron because he doesn't care what Anthony does at all. LeBron takes a long two and the Celtics are happy. A nice little wrinkle out of Horns to get a screen and roll with LeBron that forces Pierce to come over, but watch his path on the way back to LeBron, giving him that three. Again, Pierce won't close out on him, hoping that LeBron will take this long three. And this time Spoelstra clears out the side, hoping LeBron will attack, and he takes the worst shot in basketball with his foot on the three-point line. The Heat offense abandoned them at times. Here they do a little pitch to get into Horns, but it takes way too long. Then, on a little bit of a denial of LeBron, they go to Joel Anthony, and that's where everything just breaks down. Nobody moves. Now LeBron is forced to shoot a long three with the clock winding down, and the Celtics are ecstatic. The Heat have fallen in love with Horns, and here they're going to try and do it with Ray Allen in the other high post slot, and it kind of falls apart pretty quickly. Ray Allen is used to playing the corner spot, so now you're going to have a weird thing with spacing Battier and Allen next to each other, and that's not a good sign. And when they throw the ball to Battier, it goes right back to Wade. Now there's no time on the clock, and they have to burp up a bad shot. Combine the Heat's over-aggressive hedging and Kevin Garnett's length, and there really isn't much Miami can do to stop the Celtics center. He's already taller than any Heat defender, and his release point is so high, it's difficult to contest. A head scratcher for me was why they had Haslam guarding KG to begin with. Even on the rotation when Bosh picks him up, who should be guarding him in the first place, KG can't be stopped there. The Celtics were well prepared for the fronting of the post, a little high-low lob, they can't stop that. A beautiful pin down and pitch for Barbosa, and Shane Battier does his job bumping the roller, but Rashard Lewis should rotate over and take him. He's ineffective either way, and Joel Anthony is too short to bother those shots in the lane. Aside from Jason Terry stepping up and barring a trade, Paul Pierce must increase his efficiency and playmaking ability significantly. Without raising his level of play, the Celtics have no hope to make any noise in the playoffs. Bosh needs to guard KG full time. At least he can bother him a little bit in those turnarounds. It's not a perfect solution, but he's the only one that can bother KG at all. So Boston has to make a decision. Are they going to make a move and break this team up? Because remember, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett don't have much time left on their careers, and Rajon Rondo is gone for at least until All-Star break of next year. So they have a decision to make. Do they move anybody and try and upgrade for this year? Or do they try and piece it together, maybe grab Derek Fisher, who's available, or even someone like Kyle Lowry in a trade? It's all sort of murky, and they do have a little bit of time because the eighth spot seems pretty secure for them in the East. But then again, remember who they have to play. They ain't going to do this to the Heat 4 times in a week. So that's the real question. They want to give KG a shot at a championship because he's got a no-trade clause in his contract, so he'll have to approve that. Do they dump Paul Pierce, the ultimate Celtic, or do they try and keep this team together? A lot of questions. On the other side, the Heat are just kind of going through the motions, and I have to imagine they're going to up their intensity for longer stretches. And if they do that, nobody in the East will really be able to challenge them. Maybe the Bulls with Derrick Rose, maybe, if Derrick Rose can come back at full strength. We'll see. Well, stay tuned for lots more coming up. This Thursday, we're going to have a very special thing, so be sure that you're following us on Twitter so you'll see the announcement. And if not, you're all YouTube guys, get on Google+, because we're going to start offering a lot more content there. And look at the link here and below for our Google+ profile page, because a lot of stuff happens there. Well, thanks for joining us, sports fans, and don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?